This is hard. This is like a whole different kind of declutter. I'm not really getting rid of it. I'm just dividing it up. I think I'd rather get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's just easier. We are back in the basement, and I am going to do what I have been procrastinating because I got a request for a video, which you guys are always my motivation. Oh, look, I just went dark. And so what I'm doing, I am dividing up the china between the 3 kids that said they were interested. I have 7. 3 of them are interested in some china. So I'm going to get this out and divide it up. I've got this table all ready to go. Oh, I guess I have a helper. He doesn't want to be on camera. He's running away from me. Woozy. Come on, no one ever gets to see you. Hello. He's very verbal. Where are you going? He's like, I really don't want to be on camera. Hi. Hopefully he's not smelling a mouse. Let's assume he's not. I know that a big thing right now is Swedish Death Cleaning. And it's not that I'm against it. I'm for it. In fact, that was one of my original motivations for doing my decluttering. It is true that I don't want my children to have to do this when I'm gone. And even if I still have the possessions, I want them to be all marked and labeled so that everybody knows whose is whose, and they can just come grab the box with their name on it. But preferably, they'll even have these things in their possession. So, I think of 2 things when I think of Swedish Death Cleaning. I think my kids aren't going to have to go through it all when I am gone. I'll have decluttered it all, saved out what is for them, and anything that doesn't have their name on it, they have permission to just get rid of. And if it does have their name on it and they've changed their mind and don't want it, they have permission to get rid of it. Nothing has value to me, and even if it did, you know, objects don't have value. Even if it did, once I'm gone, it wouldn't have any value to me. So there's that. Then there's, you know, anything that you're handing down. I think it is easier on everybody if everyone knows whose is whose. So the china was easy. I thought it'd be hard, but I asked the kids, had that conversation. I do have my father's guitar. He got a Martin guitar when he was 18 years old, and we still have that guitar, and I have it. That one's going to be much harder, but sometimes you just think it's much harder because you're imagining more than one person being interested in it, but then when you actually ask, they're not interested in it. So it might not actually be hard to deal with it. It might just be in my imagination. So there's that. But also, and this is why in another video I said I prefer to think of it as life cleaning. And my reasoning for that was having all of this stuff taken care of now will help me to relax and enjoy the rest of my life without having this hanging over my head. It really helps me to have it all settled as well. And preferably, I'll be giving now. I'll be giving them the things that are theirs now. I mean, who even knows? So this is broken. This is a beautiful pattern, and if anybody knows anything about it, if you recognize it, let me know. But it's broken, and so I guess I assumed, which I can, I could repair it. So we'll just see on that. It is Royal Gadrum. Is that what it says? So if you know anything about this, you could let me know. It is being handed down from my husband's mother's family. I did go ahead and find out who was interested. So now I can just divide it up, and I do want to see how many pieces I have of each thing because, you know, since one person, you know, they have a family, I know they would be using it right away. I would love to make sure that they have enough to actually use and not just and not just to have a random piece. So I need to get a bag for this. That's obvious. All right. See, yeah, here's another broken piece. Oh, this was actually my grandmother's and it got broken. Ah, so sad. I'll probably end up just getting rid of it because no one even knows about it. And then I have these little silver cups, so I need to give this to my son Christian. This is his cup, and it has his name engraved and the date he was born. So that will go to him, which they're coming back to Maine to pick up Christian's car, so I can do that there, because if you're new here, you wouldn't know. My second born son just moved from Maine to Illinois. Oh. This was also my mother's and father's. It was a church that my dad pastored. Now, when I was young, this stuff was super important to me. I did not grow up with china. It wasn't something my mother had. And I did, you know, we just didn't keep a lot of things. My dad was really good at decluttering. So I never grew up with this type of stuff. And I think when you're not used to it and then it kind of presents itself to you, it's very attractive, right? But, you know, I said it before. When you're young, you're collecting, and when you're older, you start getting rid of. Because you start to see it doesn't really have value because you don't really have the energy for it. Oh, I was saying that this stuff was super important to me when I was young, but I've only lived in one place where I even had a place to, number one, display it, and I only had a place to display it because my husband made a hutch. I guess I didn't actually display it though because the doors were solid. So I've never had a place to display it, and I really only have one. I only lived one place. Another broken piece. See, this is what happens. I had one place where I could actually use it. So then what happens is it's always stored, and I probably wasn't good at storing, and things get broken. Also, over time, there's like cracking. So that's a little rough. But I guess if I can give the people who are interested in it, if I can give them even, I guess, enough for a romantic dinner with them and someone special to them, that might be enough. So things got broken over the years just from me trying to store it in places. You know, I didn't always have a big basement like this. This is the only house I've ever had a basement. Our last house had like a dirt basement. And we used to tease and call the basement a river runs through it because there was water running through it all the time. Super not healthy. But it was the idea of this I couldn't let go of, and thinking I would someday have a house where I could display it. And I suppose in this house I could if it was a priority to me, enough of a priority, but it obviously is not enough of a priority. Or I would have bought furniture for it to display it. So I have that sideboard in the dining room. We keep homeschool stuff in it. I mean, that's just my life. My life isn't fine china. It just took me years to realize it. One of the reasons, if no one had been interested in it, I just would have quietly gotten rid of it, is I see that decluttering is such a huge journey for me. I don't want to saddle someone else with that journey. It's not easy. It's not easy to lug all this stuff from house to house, hoping that you're going to have a use for it. So let me know. Are there things in your family that have come down that you have, and are you holding on to it because you love it and you use it, or are you holding on to it because it was handed down to you? And are you at the place in your life where you're kind of dividing all this stuff up, or are you still kind of enjoying it, having it? I wonder if I could go online and find, I'm going to search this online because the creamer is broken, but I have the sugar bowl. And if the other two people were super interested in it, maybe I could get them the creamer and sugar for Christmas or something. I don't know. You never know what you can find online, right? All right. I got 3 boxes from Walmart. And of course, one of the lids is missing. We'll have to look for that. Now, I do need to replace the newspaper I'm using with bubble wrap. It's better to put them in bubble wrap, of course, than newspaper. Plus, newspaper can get them dirty, and I'm sure there's other reasons that I'm not even thinking of. So I know, so these are clear, which I like, because then I can see through them and know exactly what's there. And they're easy to label, and they also fit on the shelves, and they're not overly big. So I have 3 people that want china. 2, 4, 6. I have 8 pieces. So this is why I wasn't doing this. It's because I can't divide 8 by 3. So I already have guilt. I kind of wanted to give my son enough for his whole family, but that wouldn't work because that wouldn't leave enough for the other 2 girls. It's hard because they're not married yet. This is why we don't do Swedish death cleaning. Now, there's Swedish death cleaning, and then there's dividing up your inheritance now. I'm kind of dividing up my inheritance now. Not the money part, obviously, because I'm still here spending it. But the possession part, and I don't like doing it. I don't think anybody likes doing it. You let me know. Do you like doing it? I don't think so. And I always hear I always hear the complaint, that people, they want their parents to make these decisions, and then the parents aren't. So I guess what I'm going to do is make sure everybody has at least 2 pieces so they and their significant other, sorry about the newspaper noises, they and their significant other can have romantic dinners. Does that sound good? And then I'll take it from there. So I'm going to start with what's easy. And what's easy is to just give them each 2 pieces of everything. That's what's easy. Because then everybody has the same. And then I got to put bubble wrap on the list. But I can't go get it if I want to because it's snowing. And I'm not going to wait. I also know I can't leave the stuff out here because the cats are down here at night and I don't want them breaking the stuff. So it is what it is. The question would be, have I ever used this china before? Yes, I have. I have used it at holidays before. I have used it with company before. The other thing I might do is double check with the girls that want it, that aren't married yet. It's possible they just want the teacups because they have memories of having tea parties with Grandma. Both grandmas. Also, what I read is for like bowls, it would be better to store them wrapped like this because the edges are stronger than the middle. So the more weight I'm packing on top of each other, the more likely it is to break. So I can teach you how to do it quickly, even if I'm not. And then bubble wrap is better. And of course you can get those fancy zip boxes too, but I like these because they're hard. But it wouldn't be the way you could pack these to move or to ship for sure. The other thing is, you know, it's nice if you can do this. It's nice if you can do this even before your kids have moved, because then they can take it with them instead of later on having to decide if you're going to ship it. Next, I feel like I need to have a conversation with my daughters and find out, what was your true intention? Was it just the teacups or was it all of it? Even though I've kind of divided up now, but I still have 2 pieces of everything, and so maybe one of them won't care and then I can kind of divide again. If you feel like this is hard, I agree with you. This is hard. This is hard. This is like a whole different kind of declutter. I'm not really getting rid of it. I'm just dividing it up. I think I'd rather get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's just easier. All right.
I'm taking my history test now.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know. It is a new day. Can you see? Because I am in a new outfit. Why? Well, what happened was I got super overwhelmed by it not being even. I love things to be even, and I think what's so hard about passing things down is if you have more than one child, and I have 7, then it can be hard to think, now who's going to want it? Is anyone's feelings going to be hurt? And it's really easy to just let them deal with it when you're gone, but that's not really a good thing because you want them to love each other when you're gone. You don't want to give them anything that would give discord, right? But then I got to thinking, I actually have a college son, Fran, and I didn't ask him if he wanted the china. It's just not where he is in his life, but he does have a serious girlfriend. So I thought, okay, that 4th, you know, because I could do 2 place settings for each person if I have 4 kids who want it. So that 4th setting I am going to set aside for him. And then if he ends up not wanting it and his significant other, if in the future they do decide to get married or whatever, if they decide they don't want it, then I can deal with it then. But for now, I'm going to pack it for him, and that makes it even. I'm telling you. But I don't know. I know it's something that we all need to work through. Let me know in the comments if you also struggle with who will get what things. And I know some of you struggle because your kids don't want it. To be honest, if that happened to me, I think I'd be relieved, and I would just send it all out into the universe for whoever did want it. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get that packed up for him, and then this project will be done. I did not have another clear box. So I can get a clear box later. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world as long as it's labeled, right? So I'm not even going to worry about it. It's not on my radar at all. And still a bad day to get bubble wrap again, because guess what? It is snowing again. Maine. We have had such a mild winter, hardly any snow at all. And now suddenly it's like snowing literally every other day. Today is my Thursday, hopefully the same day that you'll actually see this video. And it's supposed to snow again Saturday. In fact, Saturday, we could get like a foot of snow. What in the world? A couple weeks ago, it was like in the 50s, and I thought, oh, early spring. I mean, it seemed the trend was always warm, warm, warm. It'd be cold for a couple days, then it would get warm again, and now here we are. Okay, I thought I was out of lids. I mean, I thought I only had 2 lids, but I don't know, I'm just blind. So I'd seen them. So let's get the lids. Snap and snap. Now get the labels. These are pantry labels. I got these on Amazon and I have 0 regrets. It is just so easy to take like a white Sharpie or a chalk marker, write what it is, slap it on the box. Is it fancy? No. Is it easy? Heck yeah. Do I want to use my Cricut? No. It's too much work to pull it all out when I can just write and slap. I'm telling you. Now, if I wanted something beautiful, if pantry stickers, maybe I would use my Cricut for that. But for something like this, this is beautiful. And best however much money I spent, I have gotten my money's worth out of this. I know it's quite possible that a declutter like this could actually be triggering for those of you who are still mourning the loss of loved ones and you're trying to decide what to do with their things, whether you want to keep those, pass them along now, or what you want to do, and it's just too hard to face. I went through this too. When my mom died in December of 2020, I did get a box of things from my sister, and I'm going to go ahead and put that video where I was attempting to do some decluttering with her things up in this corner. You go ahead and click on that and I'll meet you over there because I think it'll be really helpful to you if you're in mourning but you're really feeling like it is time to declutter. So remember, as always, that God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.